Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Tournament of Goats here on Onomatopoeia Community Cup, presented by Zonk Esports. We got probably one of the best matches of the tournament today, two powerhouses. I'm here with Cookie to watch Thrive and Door, formerly Ungentlemen, versus Solstice Esports. Cookie, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's been a hot second since I've watched these goats, maybe about a week or so. But I'm ready. We've been talking about this match for a while, the Solstice versus Endure, and I think it's going to be a big one because regardless of seeding, Endure, they deserve the number one seed. They're doing very well. But Solstice, I think, are a little bit further down in the seeding, but it's a surprising reason. Number three. But they've been so heavily uncontested this entire time. We'll have to see if Endure can, stop their rampage, stop the underdog. Not really underdog, but underdog enough.
Yeah, exactly. Both these teams, really no complications the entire way through this tournament. Their teamwork is impeccable. I mean, their individual skill, absolutely insane. From both sides, Silver Star, Scooty, Galaxy, Lambin. I mean, all these players. I mean, just naming a few who have obviously made an impact, have been player of the matches and everything like that. They're just so good, and we can see the impact they make on a day-to-day basis when we watch these games. It's just going to be so exciting finally watching these two Titans go up against each other. But now we're going to look at the bracket real quick. Take a look at where these guys came from, how they got here, and what we have left. So looking at it, I mean, this is the last, winners final type of thing we have here. Got Thrive, Endure versus Solstice Esports up here. Again, so easy. Solstice not dropping a single map so far throughout this entire tournament.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. And Thrive, Endure, they lost one map to Dirt, but Dirt are an insane team in their own right as well. Coming close to winning many tournaments, hosted by Onomatopoeia in recent times. Astronomical Pegasus couldn't quite take one off Solstice, but not to take anything away from them. But maybe it's telltale of what's gonna happen here, or maybe it means absolutely nothing. Maybe it's just another 3-0 from someone.
Yeah,
anything could happen in this game.
Good. And then we also have that losers bracket down there as well. Dirt taking down Team Exile to move on. And then Hanamura Hellhounds moving on because Astronomical Pegasus did drop out. So that's why they are no longer playing. That's why you didn't see that game. So that 15 seed all the way down to that losers round 5 going up against Dirt very soon. That should be a good one as well. Both those teams look very strong. But back to this one, because the winner of that game has to play the loser of this game, which is going to be a tough one no matter what. And Cookie, do you have any predictions for the match ahead of us?
Oh, I'm feeling just a not so cruisy, but cruisy 3-2 for Solstice here. I feel like they're going to get a couple maps up in the beginning, maybe drop a couple, in the sort of the mid series, and then come back and finish it up at the end. That's what I'm feeling. How about you? What do you think? What direction do you think this is going to take?
Oh, Solstice has looked so good throughout this entire series. Thrive and Door, again, I mean, they've been good too. I mean, but I'm going to give it to the team that hasn't lost a map. We both say 3-2, very possible. Maybe a map 6, maybe a map 7. Who knows how many draws we could see tonight? Who knows how long we'll be here? But, given the edge to Solstice right now, but I mean, after map 1, that could easily change. Both these teams seem neck and neck in everything they do. But on a player level, I'm really looking for that main tank battle yet again. I think that's just so important here in the GOAT's composition. And it's not just your main tank. It's, of course, keeping him up, giving him the resources he needs when he needs them. Those bubbles, those armor packs, everything like that. So I'm going to be looking at Inax, who, again, has been such a strong Reinhardt throughout this entire series. If he can keep up his prowess, his just pure alpha domination throughout the entire series.
Absolutely. I'm excited for it. I really am. Like you said earlier, it's just gonna be like the clash of the Titans here versus these two teams. There's a lot of really good players in every single slot on these teams. I don't think there's a single person being carried here. And to see what everyone can do here should be time for excitement.
Should be very, very exciting. I mean, again, just we're going to be looking at these two teams. They've made their whole way through this tournament. And this seems like the finals to me in a way. We could even see this in the final game, of course, because loser goes back up if they win and everything like that. So again, just a great game ahead of us. But before that game, make sure you drop a follow on the stream if you are joining here for the first time. It's been a great series down to our final four, and it's just going to get better from here. These games going to be the best of the best. And also, just to touch on a few bases, that OCC relaunch June 18th, that's right around the corner now, 16 days away. That should be fun. A lot of great stuff. That SRless league, that regulated league, a lot of great stuff coming.
It's getting super, super close. Apparently also signups this weekend, or at least when they open up. So you can jump in there, get your team in there, get some friends, have a bit of fun in a new league.
Yeah, just mess around, winning, losing, doesn't matter. Just have fun. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. I mean, when you lose, you're going to be a little bummed out, but it happens.
It's Overwatch, it's anything's better than ranked.
That's true. It is better than ranked. Jeez.
You still might have people on your team throwing, but
they're not doing it on purpose. You know what I mean? Unless the other team pays them off or something. Then, at least you understand,
Yeah, any times want to be paid, Send me a
in ranked if you throw, there's what's the deal with that? But if you're getting paid to do it, then it's rude, but you understand a little bit.
Exactly. But also, we also have the Hanamura Hellhounds versus Dirt game as well tomorrow, which is close to one of the last losers bracket games. And of course, whoever wins there will move on to face whoever loses today. And that's coming at you at 10 p.m. EST tomorrow.
Yeah, that one should be exciting as well. Can't wait to see who the winner of that one go on to play, because we'll figure out today. And here we start on Lijiang Tower. The Tournament Goats is back underway here. Thrive Indoor versus Solstice Esports. We're on Control Center. Here we go. Both teams just chilling in spawn. I doubt Naeon's going to go on to this Winston, but just messing around in spawn right now.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any recent Winston buffs that would give him any reason to be up there, but
he's spinning around, that's for sure.
Nah, of course, back on that D.Va, which we've seen them on so often, and I kind of see what these guys can kind of do here. Of course, running both teams running Zenyatta's, very powerful mirror here.
Yep, bubbles out already from both teams. Vanguard, along with Yeti, just trying to get as much charge as they can quickly as possible. Now pushing points a little bit controlled here by Solstice. Indoors not really backing off until Lambent, a nice flail, takes Frost down. And without your main tank, yet again, such a powerful just ingredient to this Goats composition, you're going to back off. Inex does go down, but it's a fair trade. His first point's going over here to Solstice Esports.
But Frost at 9k he's already back there. They're on that front line, and they can push in here pretty quickly. Maybe before Inex can. No, Inex is back here. But Vanguard had a pretty good play there. High charge. He just walks into the back and lasers Frost down from the back.
Yeah, another opening pick there from the side of Solstice Esports. Silver Star, the great one there, and the rest short to follow here. And you can see how great this team of Solstice is. They have one opening and they really take advantage of it. They're not going to lose fights where they get that opening pick. And on the side of Thrive Indoor, you gotta be looking at you can't fall apart that quickly before the fight. But Kaki's gonna drop that rally in, and the Shatter goes in as well with that Graviton Surge. A lot of damage coming through to this front line. And it's Solstice yet again holding strong here, up to 40%. They're still ticking up.
And just like Goats goes, a lot of ults were up and ready to go, and a lot of ults were used, but only one team started to fall there. But Endure, they have a lot of ults to push back in here. They're 55%. They're not in the most stressful position. They have plenty of time to push in and take it for themselves.
Yeah, Shatter into the back there from Frost. Finds a few, but not not as much as he might have wanted there, the Graviton Surge. So not a lot of kills coming through with all those ultimates, but Kaki does find the foil shot there onto Lambent. Inax gonna go down there from a boot from Galaxy and a lot of help from his team as well. So finally Endure move on to the point. It looks like they're gonna be taking this one after a little bit of a stall here out from the Solstice supports. Not much of a problem pushing into there, but again, just a good cap and defense from Solstice.
A lot of ults used on both sides there, which is typical of goats. But I guess George just had a lot more to burn and used them a lot more aggressively there. Solstice played it a little bit more defensively, which might not have been the best option. Maybe you should have held on to some, just let him take it.
Yeah, big shatter comes in there from Frost and takes down Inax with it. And to spawn the pin, Silverstar goes down through all of that. And a Transcendence also used there by Smalty. A little bit of an interesting choice there, because now that Graviton Surge from Vanguard is online with no defensive ult, so interesting play there.
They've got nothing here except for the play aggressively and build up stuff later. But yeah, they managed to get the picks. That's looking a little bit close there. But Silverstar didn't quite have that Transcendence. That's going to allow Galaxy and Smalty to get at least a little bit of ult back before they push in again. But this should be close enough to being not an easy one fight, but they can definitely get some control here of that Grav.
Yeah, definitely look at the Graviton Surge and that rally out from Lambent early. Same with Kaki. Right before that fight starts, just to get your bases down. The shatter from Frost not finding anything, but no pressure there. Bomb into the back there from Scooty. Again, not finding one. We know he can do it, but Lambent finds two with one swing. And that's two supports down. That's a lot of sustain out of this fight. Again, more staggers coming through, and Silverstar, a questionable Transcendence there. Not quite sure what the deal with that one was, but it's at least gonna ensure that capture goes through. And both very near the same percentage here. Looking at one fight territory.
Yeah, absolutely. Endure can definitely bring this back, unless Scooty jumps off the map like that. They're in pretty dangerous territory right here now.
Yeah, Beat comes out here, and that Transcendence used by Smalty. Graviton Surge not finding anything. Percent ticking up as one Lucio to touch there. But back in the front lines, Frost is kind of running it right now. He takes Inax down. Galaxy to fall on the point, but the pressure's still there from that front line. Scooty eats up Vanguard's Grav too. That could be huge, but still the kills are coming in here from Solstice, yet he has to do something huge here on the point, but he really doesn't have the sustain. He goes down. Scooty out of mech as well. It looks like Solstice will be taking round one here in a close fought control center.
Yeah, that was super close. It looks like they Solstice need a pause here. That's fine. Give us more time to unpack what just happened there. Thrive. They definitely have the ability to push it in there. They played it well. They had the ults to work with. The bombs were chucked in and the grabs and everything. And it was fairly even. But Silverstar didn't have his trance because he used it earlier. At a questionable time, which really opened it up so wide for everyone on Thrive. But I don't know what happened. It's kind of let Vanguard get away with being high charge, getting a lot of damage in. Same with Lambent, and they just kind of ran away with it. And Frost 9K, I think, is going for the solo shatter on the Lucio. But that shatter doesn't climb up walls as much as it used to, so it kind of fell a little bit short. And Joey just managed to bounce his way back to the point, kind of making the shatter irrelevant. Yeah. Which could have been handy to clean up the rest of the fight there.
Yeah, if he does land that shatter, Joey's down, Inax is down. That's two very important members. No speed, no sustain even with that AoE healing, and Inax still in spawn. Could have really flipped the fight there, but just missed on that one. So unlucky for him. But on the side of Endure altogether, you got to be looking at what really went wrong throughout that entire, first cap, and then you battled your way back. And so you got the ultimates, but there was a few just misplaced things altogether. You got to maybe see if you can look into that and figure that out over time. But you're also looking at the side of Solstice because they just played so well. Like, it was just such a close-fought battle, and it's just those one or two mistakes that really let it slip away from Endure. And that's just what we get with these two teams. It's like, it's really not who's playing better, but who makes the first mistake, and then the other team capitalizes. And that goes from there. So it's been a great back and forth battle so far.
Oh no. So yeah, no, that's exactly right. These teams are playing fairly even for the most part, but it's just a case of whoever makes just like the slightest mistake and seeing if the other team can capitalize on it and punish it. And Solstice, we saw immediately they're doing that just a little bit better at the moment. But Enduro are nowhere near being out at this point. They can definitely bring it back. They're so close to it. They could have won out that map. They almost had that map. If just a couple very minor things and Vanguard popping off a little bit on that high charge Zarya. But that was the first round of the first map. There's still plenty of time for Enduro to just completely overpower and overwhelm them, and show that they're the better team. That there's a reason that they're the #1 seed, or if Solstice can get away from them.
Yeah, definitely going to see a lot here on Night Market. Definitely another GOAT's favorite map. It is about point control a lot of the time. It's a very tough point to really get into because you could go around that coast, but then, it's GOATs, Galaxy, Joey, both of them, very Reddit style Lucios. They can easily get a nice 3-4 man boop there and just end the point, or end the fight, I should say, right away. So you got to be watching for that. And then those small corridors out there towards that main point. So either way, it's a tough place to get in. And that also favors GOATs on the defense. You're those fire strikes, you got those Zarya right clicks that just do tons of damage when she's so high charged. So it is all about point control, obviously, but you know what I mean.
Exactly. There's a lot of maps where it's a lot easier to get onto the point, especially for the King of the Hill ones. There's a few Ilios maps where it's a lot of it's fairly wide open, but the control center is just such a direct couple of choke points to get through that are absolutely brutal. And that's a lot of how this map's out. Like even this one can be pretty difficult to get back on the point if you lose it.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like it's going to be Solstice taking the point control a little bit early here, but with 2 kills down from both the Brigs, anything could really happen here. Yeti high charge already. We know how much damage he can do. Solstice just sitting here on point, trying their best not to lose it. But Frost kind of gets in there in the backline, but he goes low, and Inax is still swinging. Galaxy goes down, and it's just an advantage right here for the side of Solstice. Scooty demeched as well. Just with all this damage coming in here, Lambert does go down yet again. He had that respawn and the Graviton Surge in here for the side of Endor, and they're going to flip this one right back. They pull out that overextension and just flip it right back into their favor.
And that nice early grub as well. Vanguard's only at 63%, and he's, by no means doing poorly, but Yeti just got it so quickly and just got to punish that overextension, which you don't typically expect that, but it is GOATs, and you got to be careful of a high charge Iron Man. They can build up those ults real quick.
Yeah, definitely did not see that one coming. As they're right back into it, however, the Shatter goes down. A huge one there from Frost, taking advantage of the unsuspecting Inax. More kills come through yet again. And an easy early team fight win there for Endor, and they're looking to, really shape up well for this entire point.
They've literally only used 2 ults this entire time, and they're already ramping up to about 40% with plenty of ults to rotate here. A lot more for defensive purposes right now, but we're not far off some stuff, especially if Inax falls there nice and early. And Frost is already back up to 55%, 60% and rising.
It's so easy for that. Yeah, it's so easy for that Reinhardt to get his Shatter in this composition, and especially when you're just getting those huge fire strikes just down these alleyways. So easy for these guys to just build it up and drop big ones every step of the way. We're right back into it. A good amount of ultimates online here for Solstice as they push back in. Really need to take this advantage right now. Soundbarrier out into that Graviton Surge, but Smalty's right there with that Transcendence. Rally out here, late here for Lambent. Bomb into the Graviton Surge. Will it do anything? No. It's a little too high up there for the side of Neon. The Shatter over to the side, blocked there by Frost. So no kills coming through after all that, but Neon, a bomb into the back. We know he can do it. These bombs have been so crucial here just throughout this entire GOATS tournament. And it really flips the point there. Silverstar with a few kills as well. And finally flipping it up towards 92% here for Endor, but
they're definitely topping Diva Diff right there. Scooty launching it way too high. It wasn't even close to being able to do any damage, especially enough to kill anyone. And then I'm just saying, step back. I've got the calculations already in my head. I got the trajectory perfectly planned, and just full send it.
Yeah, and a huge Shatter there from Inax to start off that fight. Frost does get that charge kill onto Silverstar, but again, probably not too much of an issue as the rest of the kills come through. And that's just a good ultimate use there. You only have to use Shadow to basically win that fight. And it just builds up Vanguard's Graviton Surge. Lambit almost at that rally again. You're in a good position here to just win this next fight and keep holding on to this point.
And you really have to, because if you lose one more fight here, it can pretty much mean the round for them, because you know they're already at 92 and losing that Zenyatta so far ahead, that's a rough one.
Yeah, and then NX goes down as well, trying to save him out there. Graviton Surge a little effective there with Khaki going down, but got that Transcendence in from Smalty as well, and the Graviton Surge right out there. No Silverstar online, and he doesn't even have his Transcendence as well, so Endure take it here. That was such a high percentage on this point. It's going to be tough for Solstice to take this one back, especially with NX just being pressured down here. No one's even going to touch. And we're going to a round 3 here on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. Both of these teams play super well, and it's just about the mistakes you make. And when there's a pretty big one like a Zenyatta being out of place, the team, you know they're going to capitalize on that. They're going to speed right into that Zenyatta and absolutely obliterate him, and that's what they did. And, you know, NX as well, going to protect him, try and help him out, falling as well. You lose your Ryan, you lose your Zenyatta. It's kind of all over from there.
Yeah, it's funny. I said that losing Silverstar late in that fight wouldn't really matter, but his long respawn there and just slowly floated back to point really was the difference maker, because they could just jump on him before he was with his team and really swing the fight into Endure's favor. As now it's tied up here. Macho y Macho now onto this garden map. Dive heavy map here, but no Winston yet again seen, as both teams again taking a different route.
Yeah, well, you know, it's still not a good floats map though. It's a good dive map, but it's not great for floats because there's just so much low ground that the runner is just going to walk into you. And Winston doesn't do too well against hammers.
Sadly not, but Lambit a little far up there as Yeti takes him down. But Silverstar finds a trade there, and with that D-Mac onto Scooty, it might not be too bad that he lost Lambit. NX gonna go down here. So that's the effects of that Brig being out of the fight. And now just pounding on Silverstar. Frost takes him down, and one after another, the side of Solstice go down and Endure. Looking to take this first cap here and really changing it up, really fixing a lot of their problems that they saw in that first round.
Honestly, I'd argue that Yeti dying there was such a bigger pick than Lambit there. But somehow Endure still managed to swing it their way, lacking the huge damage you get from a high charge Zaya. They still pull it back pretty easily there. That's the kind of thing that you like, that heals and you run hard to melt real quick.
Yeah, NX just really could not sustain himself up there, and he was slow to follow. But then that rally's out there, and a shatter out from NX, and a one block from him as well as Lambit takes down Khaki. But the D-Mac goes down there onto Neon, and the Graviton Surge is right in. Trying to do as much damage as it can before that Transcendence comes up, and it's a little late there on the side of Smalty. As his team slowly again is whittled down here on the point. Scooty last one surviving here, and a quick cap here, a back and forth fight so far on Gardens.
And that's not even the worst part about using, like, the fact that you use the Transcendence is, you know, it's bad because you know you don't have it, but also there's so many people still alive on point, like the Diva mech and Discorded. The Zaya is still just pumping damage into that Diva and getting a lot more ult charge than they typically would because of all that healing. You know, it's even worse than you expect just losing an ult.
A grab bomb underway here into the back, but no takers because of that one, except that D-Mac, which could be very monumental here. Is that shatter in from the back from NX, finds a few in the cleanups there from his supports. Again, just winning that fight. A few ultimates had to use that Transcendence and that Sound Barrier to keep everyone up through all that damage, but nonetheless, you win the fight. Now, late stagger there onto Galaxy should put you in good position for this next one as well.
And Neon gets their mech back. I'll be happy with that because they've got that grab bomb combo ready to go. They don't have a lot of defensive stuff, but neither does the other team. At best, they can get a Transcendence, but the Transcendence does pretty much nothing versus a Diva bomb. Solstice looking in a good position to win out at least another fight, unless that happens.
Oh, unless Scooty eats that Graviton Surge, and Lambit really expecting that one to go through, goes in a little too quick there. Neon does get one with his bomb, but Scooty has just been doing it all so far this fight. He gets another one onto NX, and now charging in is Frost. Joey, a boop there onto Galaxy. So far, Solstice is still holding their own there. Nan's going to get demeched here by Yeti. And now the point control is over to Indoor. But still just a pesky Joey on point there. And the round's going to come out as well there from Lambent, but it can't save Nayan. 2 kills come through Khaki, getting Vanguard and Lambent in that Graviton Surge, so a good play there from them, but that Transcendence on point. It's 2 different team fights right now. Again, just so much percentage ticking up here for the side of Solstice. Scooty cleaning this up. He did just so much during that fight. It's going to win him here, but again, 92. We saw this on Night Market where that 92% was really influential. 1 fight away for Solstice to win this one.
Yeah, the ults being used right now are a little bit odd. That could have been anyone's team fight. And if Solstice uses Transcendence a little bit better, saving the Reinhardt rather than the Zarya that ended up dying anyway, might have actually tipped in their favor because Inax got a lot of value just sitting in that Transcendence anyway.
Oh, but a huge bomb out there from Scooty. Takes 2. Nayan gets 1 off the map. Khaki sad to see that one going through, but opening it up is Scooty. Tons of work there. And that's a lot of shield break, a lot of bubble pressure there. Vanguard tried to get a lot of percentage, or not charge with his bubbles, but they broke too quickly for him to be safe from that bomb.
But now Solstice is coming in with a lot of aggressive ults, a lot of very powerful ults, but Endure got a lot of defensive ults here to work with. There shouldn't be too bad off here.
2 sound barriers in unison there as NX goes down. Graviton Surge not early enough out there to save him, with that main tank down. So everyone seems like they're gonna follow. A Graviton Surge out here late, and no defensive ults online for the side of Solstice, as Endure look to be cleaning up the point and holding strong here. They're gonna be taking map 1. It really set a precedent as why they're the #1 seed in this tournament.
And it's funny moments like that where Goats is that funny no one dies ever because you're so tanky and so much heals, and you can only die if there's like 10 ults used. But it isn't that way, especially not anymore. You can still die so quickly. Like I said, Solstice had a ton of aggressive ults that they had, like the Shatter, the Grab, and close to a bomb, or a combination of the 3. And they're coming into that fight. Yeah, Inax just gets absolutely obliterated so early on that like the ults didn't really matter at all, which then gave him enough time to gave Endure enough time to come back and kill everyone with their own high charge and their own ults that got them.
Yeah, that last fight there was definitely just a sustained advantage for Endure. They had those defensive ults online, and Inax just couldn't stay up because of all the pressure put on him. That sound barrier went away real quickly at the start of the fight. Joey, maybe if you save that one a little longer, who really knows? They had to use it to get in. There's a lot of ifs, ands, buts that go on here. But we do have a sub coming in. Aspect is in now, back on that Zarya. Again, he's been insane all this tournament. Just him back on this roster could be a huge difference. Vanguard definitely not doing too awful of a job, but maybe that pre-existing synergy with Aspect could be the difference maker as we go into this next map.
And because a lot of it matters too, the stuff that you don't typically see a lot of, the most part of the Zarya that you see is the high charge running around beaming people down, and the grabs. That's the main part you see, but there's a whole other half, a whole other 50% of importance that Zarya has, which is just solely with her bubbles and protecting her Reinhardt, which we may not have seen that from Vanguard because it's not typically what you see. And maybe it might, not to say it was lacking at all, but maybe because the synergy wasn't there, that part might have been lacking. And we've seen Aspect do incredibly well just throughout this entire tournament. Maybe just that one thing is enough for Solstice to be able to bring this back. Or maybe it's just not enough. Maybe Endure just really is the OP team here.
Could be. Definitely a very hard-fought battle, even all across those 3 rounds. We saw great stuff from both teams come out. Endure, really turning it on after that first round. Both these teams have kind of had it easy, so maybe that first round was kind of a wake-up call to Endure, like, oh, wait, we actually got to try. Maybe something like that. Maybe sandbagging a little bit. But either way, they turn it up, and of course, both rounds were very, very close, that Endure won. But they just, that last fight, those last seconds where they stay on top and they put it all together to win the round, that's what really is important about the game of Overwatch, and especially in GOATS too. You can't crumble when you're under pressure in those critical moments. And Endure definitely did not there. Definitely looking to see if Solstice can bring it back here. going into Volskaya Industries, which will be our 2CP map. But
Mhm.
either team, no matter what team wins this, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, absolutely not. But a team finally managing to take a map of Solstice here. You know, it only took the #1 seed. That's all it took, being in like the the winners finals or whatever it's called.
Mhm.
But we finally managed to take a map. Not easily though. Definitely not easily. It was very close, pretty much until the very end. Map 2 could be a completely different story either way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw how dominant Solstice has been on Volskaya. So
Mhm.
again, this could just be a complete sweep for Solstice. Seems like a comfort map pick of theirs, but again, maybe just a comfort map pick, excuse me, of Goats just in general. While we wait for this map to get underway, make sure you drop a follow if you join us for the first time here. This is the Tournament of Goats presented by Zonk Esports here on Onomatopoeia Community Cup, and we're in our final 4 teams. This is like the winners finals, semifinals, whatever you want to call it. These 2 teams haven't lost a map yet. Loser does drop down to our losers bracket, goes on to play the winner of Dirt versus Hanamura Hellhounds. That game will be tomorrow at 10 Eastern, so make sure you stick around for that one. And of course, as you can see in the bottom of your screen, the OCC relaunch June 18th. That should be good as well. SRless, regulated, everything. It's good. All fun. Should be so fun.
Oh yeah.
It's in the top of your screen. I lied when I said bottom. If you're looking at it upside down, then it would be in the bottom, but you're probably not doing that, so my bad.
Maybe some people watching like that. Like, just, I mean, maybe the circus, some circus members, testing out their athletics, the acrobatics.
Yeah. Maybe that's the way you understand Goats, is by watching it upside down. Maybe it just all becomes clear.
Maybe it's a whole different game if you play it upside down.
I would bet it would. I like playing a video game upside down would be pretty challenging, Cookie. I think it'd be a different game no matter what.
I mean, that's basically how everyone in Australia has to play video games.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
we're upside down,
It must have been such a hard change coming to the States for you.
It really was. Just everything's not the right way. It's all wrong.
Either way, it's been a good game. We definitely got more good maps here to come, so stay tuned. As we're about to get into this map, team's just reading up here. Aspect puts an F in chat instead of an R because maybe he's a little tired. He just woke up, so not quite sure where his keyboard keys are.
And then we got some T's as well. F's, T's, R's. Just a bit of everything coming in here. But, it's going to be interesting. Thrive opting for the attack. Yeah, they want to attack first. Yeah. They get to choose. They won the last map. They get to choose whether they attack or defend first. And you don't typically see many teams opt for the attack first. Maybe want that they want that long map. Make it nice and long. Get a really long hold. And a nice quick 2 points. It looks better if it's a 2-0 on the map rather than like a 1-0 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you have the ability to just set the bar really high here, but if it backfires on you, you are under a ton of pressure. If you don't get your push all the way, you could look back on it and think about where you went wrong. There's a lot of things that could go wrong with attack first, but again, there's also a lot of things that can go wrong with defense first. If you just get steamrolled, maybe you lose a lot of confidence there. But we'll see if this works out for them as Neon jumps off the map there on the Winston. One day we'll see him come out on that one, but I don't think it's today.
One day. But
I'm saying specifically Neon coming out on the Winston.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun, I think.
Either way, he's on the Diva yet again. I mean, of course, why wouldn't he be? Absolutely great Diva. One of the best in this tournament. Definitely battling Scooty for that spot. But
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what you'd expect from these the big 2 teams playing here. You would hope everyone's playing, at their best and at the peak of the character as well. But we have Solstice defending here first and see how they can hold back the tides of Thrive.
Yeah, it's going to be the normal Goats compositions here for both the teams. Zenyatta's, Reinhardt's on both sides. Those Divas, a good move there from Galaxy just to get everyone off as Solstice has to retreat back to the point. No high ground for them. Now, Frost is swinging in there, trying his best to get as much ultimate charge as he can. He's being poked at from all angles, and Axe shield is already down as he has to back off quite a bit and leave that front lining to Aspect on the Zarya, who's already gaining a lot of that charge, trying to build up to that Graviton Surge, which could really swing the fight. But Inax taking Kaki down there with his swing, that's going to really help out that whole defense situation. And just really swing the fight into Solstice's favor. An okay attack attempt here, but nonetheless, very Solstice one-sided.
They have built up quite a lot of ults though, and you know, can make it pretty easy work if they land some big ones here. But one of the things I've noticed is Inax, we know him as one of the more aggressive Reinhardts in this tournament. And he does super well. He thrives, if you will, on the aggressive Reinhardt. But I feel like some of the issue that Solstice is having right now is he's just not allowed to do that because Endura is so good. And so even here, that he can't get that full potential of just going full aggro.
Yeah, but Rally out here from Lambert, but the Shatter straight down there from Frost. And the Soundbarrier not in time to save Vinax. He couldn't get up in time, and Aspect Graviton Surge trying its best, but the bomb over the top, Neon gets one. Silverstar here with the Transcendence to keep up his Lucio, but he's pinned off. That's too much damage to handle. And Kaki takes out Lambert as well. Bomb into the back from Scooty, probably just to remac here. But enough damage has been done to this front line. And it looks like Endor have been just put themselves in a great position to push through here, stay on the point, and take point A. Move on to this map.
We're gonna hopefully see some blocked shadows here sometime soon. I've noticed Frost, he goes for a lot of very early shadows. There's been a couple of times where he's just basically shattered a shield that was standing there for a while. But there's just something about his timing. He is getting it really well. He's kind of learning what Inax is doing with his shield habits, and he's starting to catch him out a couple times now.
Yeah, in an early rally, it's gonna be very crucial there from Kaki, because they know Lambert used that one in the last fight, and that Soundbarrier Transcendence, everything's down. Not a lot of defense here as the Shatter goes through, but finds nothing there from Inax. A missed opportunity, but a huge one to follow up from Frost. And many are going to go down from that one. 3 now. Aspect finds Frost here, so that makes the retake a little more bearable. But nonetheless, so many have already gone down, especially with Aspect losing his life there. It's looking tough here for Solstice to even recontest. Just over 4 minutes on the clock. Joey can't touch there, and a good offense from the side of Endor.
I mean, this is basically what we said, you know. They wanted to attack first so they could, you know, cap both points, make the score look a little bit better. Maybe make the whole game itself a little bit quicker. But yeah, it's pretty good offensive, you know. 4 minutes. There was basically 3 fights the entire time. One to build a couple of ults, and then just 2 fights using ults.
Yeah, great ultimate rotation there, and again, that's probably why they picked that attack first. Now that bar's so high. 4 minutes is a quick capture here on Volskaya, and I mean, just with everything that the side of Endor have been doing, you know, Frost with these fat shats, and you know, Inax can't block them. He's not rallying the best position, so it's really tough for the rest of the team of Solstice to find a way around it.
Yeah, it's rough when your Reinhardt isn't in like the perfect position, or you yourself aren't in that position, and then you're looking down at a scary Reinhardt, hammer in hand, ready to just slam you to the ground. It's kind of rough, but we actually are opting to see a Winston this time.
Yeah,
finally.
Maybe it is a little bit of BM, but maybe that's also why they wanted the attack. They didn't want to give away their Winston right away. No counterplay out from that, so who really knows? But if you're comfortable with it,
for it, regardless,
yeah,
you know, it's a really good map for Goats, but it's also a really good map for Winston as well. A lot of high ground for him to dance around on, and you know, you can find a lot of value here.
Especially that big cleave damage coming in right over the top here. It's going to be a little pressured up there, and it's just about splitting up that back line. Let your front line do the rest of the work. Just apply that pressure to the back, and Smalty's going to find Lambert down early here. Silverstar's going to find the trade there onto Kaki, and Silverstar, another one. Not a big shield in the way. Frost is going to drop down and die, so maybe the float's not the best option here.
Maybe not. Especially not with Silverstar around. He's just looking to go off on the frag yada, you know.
Yeah, unlucky there.
Jump on the Reinhardt now. He's giving up the monkey. So
back to the normal standard composition, but 4 minutes, still a tough time to beat, especially I mean, you got 6 minutes now. That's a huge time bank for sure, but no ultimates on mining for the offense just yet. So it's not going to be the easiest push through here. Maybe just one more dry fight could help you get to that one. But NX, a shatter here could really change the whole momentum thing as he gets pushed right back there, and this drops the shatter, and that's a huge one for sure. Aztec finds 2 off the back of that one. Silverstar finds 1 as well. The Graviton surge there in late just to, you know, clean it up here. Bomb coming out, not gonna find anything but a shield. The rally there as well, and Solstice one-upping everything Endure did on their offense. It's gonna be Frost trying to touch, but he's booped off. Oh. And a whole minute 15 extra time bank. Wow.
That was really close to being able to, you know, touch again and make it, maybe stall it out for a bit longer. But yeah, I mean, they went for that idea of, you know, just we're going to set the bar so high, but Solstice just cleared it uncontested. They didn't lose a single fight on here at all.
Yeah, not a problem for them. They get 3 minutes 18. Other side gets 2. Of course, that 2-minute reduction, which is semi-new to Overwatch, but so in the grand scheme of things,
30, 40, 50-minute games anymore.
So
could you imagine playing Overwatch for that long?
We did it at one point in time, Cookie. So
we sure did.
It's not too far out of our realm of knowledge. So 5 minutes 18 seconds. That's just an insane capture time. No, it's not the 3 minutes 18, but the 5 is coming from the 2 that they got reduced. If you're confused at home, if you didn't understand, but either way, you know, Endure set the bar, and Solstice just tore it down, set their own. So now it's going to be Endure yet again here on the offense, and we know how quickly they did it last time, but somewhat of a smaller time bank because either this one goes south for them.
Yeah, you know, maybe a team can finally defend properly here.
No,
without issue.
How dare you say that? I don't want to see any defense.
Yeah, just a 10-point game at least.
I'd be fine with that because of how great these teams have been playing. Because the high ground's going to be taken here by Endure. They leave Khaki a little bit unresponsive there, but that rush over to the side can't really find any value there. Now the high ground's controlled, but Yeti gets moved down. They don't really notice him. He was a free there for a little bit there, but the rest of the team drops down to save his life there. But now pushed down to the back corridor. Don't really see many team fights happening here, but that's the flow of the game as Joey gets 1 boot there. Khaki off the map. The pin there from the side of Frost, not finding anything. Still a lot of damage coming through, especially with Smalty finding 1. Aztec finds a trade. And it's back and forth right now. Galaxy doing so much work. Aztec's still alive doing damage. He finds so many throughout this fight, but does he have any help? He's doing everything himself right now. It's just him on the point. He's a little low here, but just forcing down his D-Max. And they do it. The respawns are going to be quick here from the side of Endure, but for the time being, it's Solstice's fight.
Yeah, actually insane. You know, we see why Aspect gets slotted back in. Oh, Naheon falling the Galaxy there. Not exactly what you want. And the grab comes out too. That could be huge for him.
He's gonna swing right through that one, but he can't really close the distance fast enough. The shadow goes down, but not before he dies. Scooty finds him out there. Aspect's still alive doing damage, but the rally might not be enough to keep him up, especially with his Reinhardt down, and he's down as well. Joey, the last one standing here on the point, and as hard as Aspect can carry, it's not enough. As finally, it's gonna be Endure taking point A, pushing forward to this point B yet again.
And that was a good boop from, I don't know if it was from Galaxy or Khaki, but booping, you know, NX back when he was trying to hit that shatter, keeping it in the air a little bit longer. Really kind of screwed him over there.
Graviton surge out here, and only finds 1 in this Neon out of his mech. Can't really find that one out. Neon finds the bomb onto Scooty's mech as well, but the kills are still coming in here. Frost and Yeti find 1 of themselves, and just fighting for overtime now are Solstice. The members are down, 10 seconds remaining, just trying to hold on yet again. Neon gonna be 1 to touch here over the top. Joey in from the back, but he's being beamed down. Neon finds 1, that's Smalty down. That might be a good pick, especially with the Winston back in here from NX. Neon D-Max and down yet again. And the rally's out here from Khaki. Just doing so much damage. Lambert doesn't find any value out of his. He's taken down by a fire strike. And one after another, Solstice are finally going down. And it looks like Endure are gonna be taking this double cap here on their 2nd attempt for Volskaya.
They got close, you know, they got that pick, which is sometimes important, but It still, didn't have the spawns you needed, and when there's a Reinhardt swinging her away on point, regardless of anything else on his side, it's still one of the more dangerous things in the game. But they still managed to get it all the way down to overtime, which, I mean, it wasn't like a 4-minute time bank like it originally could have been, but down to 2 minutes is still a pretty decent amount of time to chew down. And now, they've got 3 minutes and 18 seconds to cap 2 points. As long as they get over a minute, they can near enough at least, guarantee that Endure don't get to take this map.
Yeah, shooting for that 1 minute plus time bank. And the way that Endure played this defense the first time, it's definitely possible, just of how quickly Solstice took it, but it looks like it's gonna be for us back on the Reinhardt. Not messing around with the floats here yet again. Maybe if it was Temple of Anubis, we know how strong floats is on that map, but nonetheless, another mirror match here in our Tournament of Goats.
Yeah, it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Nothing wrong with Reinhardt.
Yeah, man. Frost has done so much work here on the Reinhardt throughout this entire series. Kind of interesting that they would go to the floats right away, especially against such a strong team that knows how to play against it, like Solstice. But we'll see how we can see the response here on the defense.
Maybe it works out a little bit better. Get that Reinhardt on the high ground, basically like a Winston. You can drop down wherever he wants and get, pinned. Yeah,
a counter pin there goes through. No one goes down all the way, but they do get low here, and that just puts a lot of pressure on defense, especially with the Aspect finding kill into Yeti. That high ground's still controlled by Scooty, and it's doing so much work there. Just a little too far there from Inex, but so much damage coming through. Scooty is trying to do everything he can to keep his team in it with this one. Again, the hard carry. Scooty finds another kill. And now he's focused down Aspect as well with Khaki. Khaki's going to find the finish onto that one. But backing out now smartly is Neon before he loses his mech. They got 3 members down, but 3 still remained, and it just wasn't enough.
Silverstar, Silverstar's going to come back a lot quicker than what Smelty does. So that could be important for Solstice here. They can push in immediately right now. People are only still coming back from spawn.
Yeah, rallies out from both teams, and they have an advantage, but they're going to go just siphon them off from spawn here, just completely block their way to the point, and Frost is going to go down because of that. Now they're taking on that Zenyatta in the back. Smalty's down. Lambert doing so much work here. They're not even on the point. They don't care. They went right in between the two teams and just destroyed them there.
The point is unnecessary. It's the kills that matter here.
Absolutely.
This is just a death match. But they're going to 1 minute and 40 seconds to still left them time to just take 1 point. They're going to get a few more seconds to help them out. They're looking to be in a pretty good position to take both Sky, honestly.
Yeah.
Two minutes left. They got a lot to work with, but Endure, they actually have a Reinhardt with ult to defend on the second point this time, which can be handy.
Yeah, but again, Aspect and Neon, these two, this power combo. The slam into the back there, trying to do everything to keep everyone together. With the bomb on top, this could be huge. It gets Khaki. Just too much healing there to find anything. So much support there. That could be an opening pick that they need. Bomb into the back from Scooty. Transcendence comes out here. Yeti has his Graviton Surge. There might be a misplay there, as now they're all grabbed off the point there. They do get 1 tick, but it's a healing there. Inex finds Frost as well. No one on the point except the enemy Lucio. Galaxy trying his best. 30 seconds remaining. 20, I should say, for this 1 minute time bank. Just a matter if they're gonna make it, but no one can touch. Galaxy boot back, and Solstice put themselves in the greatest win condition that they could find.
There were so many people there. There was so many people to contest there, and just no one could make it. Galaxy getting boot back. They only needed to whittle down another 16 seconds to have another shot at this map. But they missed out, and now all they have is to defend point 1.
Yeah. In 1 minute 16 seconds, the way we've been seeing these Solstice offenses go just seems like an eternity for this defense. It's going to be tough to stop them, but it's definitely not out of hand. We might see our first draw. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, these two teams just proving how evenly matched they are.
Yeah, it's incredibly so close. It wouldn't be an insane theory to think that they might draw here. Like you said, 6-7 maps possibly could happen.
Let's just go all night, just until someone wins like 5 maps, 6 maps. Eventually we'll get there. But nonetheless, we're still on this map as Endure. Set up on the defense again. Frost on the Reinhardt. No floats here. Smalty on that Zenyatta.
Hopefully Frost doesn't
Ana.
come down into the back line again and get caught out. That was one of the bigger things, you know. Like we said, making mistakes is kind of the biggest issue here for any team. Like that's the important part because these teams are so close. And jumping down behind everyone might have been one of those mistakes.
Solstice doing their best to not stay down and to tie this one up as Neon up here trying to control the high ground from Scooty there, but Inex goes low and he's down right away, and that's just a quick retreat here. You can't lose any more members if you're Solstice, especially with just 50 seconds remaining. Pressure down, Aspect does go down. That's good. He's gonna lose his charge too. You know, a few bubbles got through there. So that one hurts a little bit as he's only at 15% on this ultimate compared to Yeti's 55.
Yeah, that's such an important thing to keep right now. We've got 30 seconds left. You got to try and build up that charge again. You got to try and build up some ult if you even can get an ult in the next however long this map lasts. There's a lot of factors here that are super important in these last moments.
Yeah, but Inex swinging back in there, trying to find that pick off to that opposite Reinhardt there. But Aspect and Lambit go down yet again, and with 10 seconds remaining, there's no chance for a regroup here. The Shatter goes down to take down Silver Star. It's just the poor Joey on point there. Neon tries to touch himself, but it looks like we'll be seeing our first draw of the night. Of course, these two teams showing how evenly matched they are. It's still 1-0 in the favor of Endure here in the Tournament of Goats.
Yeah, nice 101. Endure currently up, but that's okay. Yeah, 2CP Pog. That's kind of how it be. It's a rough map sometimes. You know, you spend so long in here, and there's moments where you do so incredibly well, and it just kind of fizzles out.
Yeah, definitely a tough position to be in. You gave yourself that win condition, and Solstice just couldn't quite get there. I mean, you're obviously happy that you didn't lose the map, and now it's not match point, but you're also kicking yourselves in the foot because you let it slip away. And again, that was Solstice's map pick too. That's a tough one to draw. They get another one here, so that this hybrid map could definitely play into their position, but it's definitely a tough mental battle to get really through this one.
It'll be the first time we see any kind of escort payload, as long as we get past the first point. Of course, that little bit of assault you have to take for a moment, but it'll be interesting to see how these teams do with an escort type map. Because it's a very different kind of play style, a different kind of map, and see who kind of does better with it. Because we've seen plenty of times Solstice has pretty much just kept the enemy in each and every spawn while they have one person sitting on cart. But I don't think they'll quite be able to get away with that this time. But we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, probably not the most efficient of teams to spawn camp against. Either side. I'm saying, like, both these teams are gonna destroy you if you try to spawn camp them. So it'll be interesting to see for sure. And of course, we're going to King's Row here. The one, the only, the Goats map itself. Should be very exciting as these teams get into it. Again, both the teams are such great Goats teams, and we saw that on Full Sky, how evenly matched they were. It should be exciting to see what they pull out here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen any Blizzard World here, any of the other maps you don't typically see too much. Get a bit of Blizzard World and get a bit of Paris, bit of Havana maybe. it's all just the same ones. Get a bit of variety in it. The element of surprise. No one's played those maps in forever. Any playtime you have on it is an advantage. Scrim one time in Paris and you're immediately the best Paris team.
Oh god, I would not want to see any Paris tonight, Cookie. It's not what I'm here for. Maybe in our finals we'll get a Paris just because, but again, that surprise factor could definitely be one that gives you an advantage, but nonetheless shouldn't be too much of a problem here, as both these teams know King's Row fairly well.
Yeah, we got a King's Row. The map we've seen 1,000 times so far, and we'll see it another 1,000 times at least. It's a good map at least to repeat over and over again. It's not like we're doing Temple of Anubis over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in goats, I feel like Temple of Anubis is one of the more exciting ones with the floats possibility. These teams kind of know how to do this one pretty well. So that wouldn't be the worst, in my opinion. But we see a lot of Volskaya, see a lot of Li Jiang, see a lot of Kings Row. Fairly consistent on what we see for our maps. As we'll be getting into Kings Row now, but before that, make sure you again drop a follow if this is your first time joining, or if it's your 8th time joining and you haven't followed yet. But either way, this is our semifinals or winners finals, I guess you could call it. It's Thrive and Door up 1-0 against Solstice Esports after a tie here on Volskaya. We go to Kings Row, and a good match ahead of us.
We're three maps in now. Only one team has a point, and it's not best of. Sorry, it's first to 3. So we've got at least another map after this as well. At least one.
At least.
Probably more. I'm feeling.
Probably more. Just the way that Solstice have been playing. They have a lot of momentum now. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Both these teams they're so equal. I mean.
Yeah, well, if my predictions are right, we've got at least another 4 maps. Get that 3-2 for Solstice, but I don't think Thrive will let that happen too easily.
Yeah, but again, the team switched side here. It's going to be Endure on the defense this time. Maybe they just feel more comfortable out their attack on Volskaya. They're in the blue. In the red, we have Solstice. But either way, looking to buckle in for a good Kings Row here.
Scooty up on the high ground on top of Mandata there. Looking for that early diva damage she gets, That 3% is incredible.
Any percentage could be important here in GOATS. Overwatch is a game of milliseconds sometimes, so. Who knows, as they push in around the statue, damage coming through, just trying to force that positioning. Both Solstice and Endure vying for just a little bit of meterage. That shield going low, and Lambert's a little far in there, and he's going to be taken down by Yeti. Misses shield bash, and just a little overextension from him. Silverstar in the back line as well, going to be taken down, but Aspect gets Frost. So if a quick regroup can come in here, it might not be too bad of a situation for Solstice.
No, everyone's just ducking up, but they are going to still manage to find Aspect and Inax there, which is, it's pretty hefty. It's going to let Frost get back. He's got that Shatter online as well. They're looking pretty good to hold this for a little bit longer still. A lot of ult ready to be just slammed down in the face of Solstice here.
So back now around the statue, just trying to force the aggression yet again when Frost drops that Shatter there. Inax not prepared for that one. And even with the Transcendence, he can't be healed up in time. Smalty takes him out. So that just provides a free Graviton Surge here from Yeti. Frost being a little bullied here, but nonetheless, Silverstar and Lambert go down. Aspect as well. And Solstice being held in spawn here for the most part.
Yeah, it's kind of uncontested at the moment. And, no one's really using ults for the most part on the side of... not that I've been able to yet. Only Silverstar's been able to use his ult. A lot more ults being tossing in now from both teams. It's...
Oh, Scooty with the 4-man into the grab. Time and time again. Scooty and Yeti, the dynamic duo here with those Graviton Surge bomb kills. Does it one more time just to open up that fight.
That's pretty important here because they used a lot of ults. They used all their support ults there. Frost has that Shatter again, and they still managed to find a 4K during all their support ults. And we're down under 2 minutes, and Zero looking pretty good to hold this for at least a little bit longer.
Yeah, looking good indeed, especially with those ultimates online. But a quick one out here from Aspect just to force the aggression. That pin comes through but doesn't find anyone in the Shatter. In from Frost, does a lot of work as well. But Lambert already finds one on Yeti. Bomb over top there from Neon. Just forces that Reinhardt back. And now they have a little bit of point control. Solstice looking good here. Cookie, I know you said that'll look good for Endure. But again, being a caster, everything you say is just immediately reversed. And it's going to be first point capped here by Solstice.
That's the thing though with GOATs though. There's so many ults to use. There's so many characters that can, find a lot of value there. And that happens sometimes, Overwatch is a game about ultimates, but there's so many abilities and everything else as well that kind of trump it sometimes.
Yeah, but Endure push right back here and take this choke over with the ease of just one speed boost and a few Brigand Spires. So now they have control of this little choke point here. This is definitely a tough one to push through, especially when you don't have high ground control. You can't go through that window. The cart's going to get moving, but nonetheless, Endure put themselves in a great position.
This choke can be difficult to get past sometimes, but with that rally, it shouldn't be too difficult to get past here.
Yeah, Shatter there hits 2 in the back, but not enough follow-up there. Bomb from Scooty gets shattered as well. And NX going low here, but Frost goes before anything can happen. Through that fight, we had a few ultimates being eaten too. Great stuff there as Yeti's Graviton Surge not quite finding what it needed. And the cleanup is here. Cart moving through. And a great play there by Solstice just to get through this choke.
Yeah,
not really enough.
Kind of all over the place as well, and they're definitely with the advantage there. You know, all they used was the grab, the beat, and the rally, and to get the win. They still managed to take out a few ults from the other team as well. Like, I mean, not to curse anyone again, but they're looking to be in a pretty good position in the ult economy here to keep on rolling.
Yeah, Neon's bomb can definitely be a huge one. He's looking to set that one up. He throws it in there right away. Doesn't find anything, but it finds a good shatter. That's going to take Yeti down as well. The bubble had to be used for that. Inex a little overextension there as Scooty takes him down from the top ropes there. And the Soundbeer, just a little bit of sustain as well, especially with that rally and Transcendence coming in at the same time. You know you have that Transcendence because that Graviton Surge was out, but Kaki finishing off Lambent because of that charge kill. Without your Reinhardt, again, things just slowly crumble away.
All right, well, I'm not going to predict anything anymore.
Yeah.
Things are blood in my face at this point. All right, come on. You know, you had the advantage, but in actual, like we've seen before, he is a very aggressive runner. But Endure can punish that quite easily. And they do, you know, Scooty up on the high ground. David's poking in the back and that bit of extra damage, and the damage on the front line as well was just enough to put him down. And, you know, as always, you lose that Reinhardt, you lose that front line.
Yeah. Graviton Surge comes in here from Aspect with a bomb into the back by Scooty. Another huge one, a 3K from him. Stops the aggression yet again of Solstice, and Endure push back into the spawn. And a DMAC here onto Neon is going to cause so much time to be ticked down. It's going to have to split here, too.
It's just a highlight reel this entire stream for Scooty. That's all it is. We're just trying to make him look good. Maybe he's retiring soon and wants to, you know, go out with a bang, you know?
Maybe. But, he's put his all into this one for sure.
Definitely. But I mean, it is good. It's not easy to get those. Oh my god.
Oh, but it's not easy to get those shatters, but Inex does it anyway. Scooty takes him down in the middle of it all, and Neon going low as well. Might get DMAX here by Scooty, but nonetheless, the kills are coming through from Solstice. As with just 20 seconds remaining, it looks like they're finally going to be pushing into this last point, but it hasn't been easy for them, and Dora put up such a great defense here on King's Row.
I was going to say, it's not easy to hit any of these ults, like bomb, shatter, and grab, but when they hit, and man, did Inex make it show that it hit, putting down pretty much everyone. That one shatter alone being pretty much the sole reason why they get the sail on through to the third point.
Yeah, absolutely, but ultimates online for both teams now. Is this going to be an all-heavy fight for sure? Frost going deep in there. He gets a little down, and he goes down when his shatter goes down as well. The Transcendence out here to stop that Graviton Surge, but Scooty's looking for it again. Looks for the bomb. It only finds one, and it's Joey. That could be huge though. But with that Graviton Surge back in, Smalty was out of the fight. No Transcendence for him. So much damage coming through. Solstice looking so good here to keep on pushing through yet again. And Inex back with that shatter. Lambent has that rally, and Neon with that bomb. That's a perfect storm of ultimates just to get to this final destination.
I admit, you say he only gets one with the bomb, but I'm pretty sure that one bomb alone got more kills than my entire D.Va career.
How extensive is your D.Va career, Cookie?
It's pretty extensive in that Mystery Heroes, not gonna lie.
Neon finds one with his bomb to respond. Great stuff here from both these divas. It doesn't have to be the 3K. Sometimes just that one. There's tons of work here as they keep on pushing through. And Frost going down as well. Not a lot of support there with his Zarya out here. Keki goes down and just trying to time in a boop from Joey. Somehow Scooty manages to find his way back up. But nonetheless, this point is so close to being taken here. This clock ticking to 5 seconds. We have a good captain from Solstice after a tough attack for the first, half of that round.
Yeah, it was kind of worrying for Solstice, almost getting full held. almost getting hold on, like, the second point. It was getting to be kind of scary for them, but they managed to pull it out and managed to get it all the way to the end with 5.6 seconds. No overtime for them. They're going to be pretty happy with that to even manage to cap it, because you don't always see that happen on these maps.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to play offense a lot of the time in Overwatch just because of all the things that are going against you. You still got to move that car. You have your responsibilities, you know what I mean? Got to babysit a bunch of things, and it's tough to really get a full team fight in a lot of situations, but Solstice put it together near the end there and hold on. But now they have to hold on for the defense itself, which is equally as tough. So,
oh yeah, it is. It's especially against these goats, where just at any time, any of these ultimates can just swing a fight immediately. There's some ults in the game that are like pretty decisive, but some not so much. Stuff like a Baptiste window or a bongo, a lot of the time you can kind of just ignore. They're really strong, but sometimes you can just walk around a corner and they become completely useless. But there's none of those ults really here. Pretty much any ult here can just cause so much damage at the wrong time. So you're gonna be on your toes the whole time.
It definitely can set up that perfect storm of team wipes, team kills. Everything could go in your favor with some of these ultimates. His Neon gets a little low here, but he'll get a healing, no problem. He's pushing in his NX. He gets stunned up, and he gets taken out. Kaki right through that shield. No problem for him as well. As so many resources went into NX there, the rest of Solstice have to back out and endure a quick cap on the way for them.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much just walk in, take out one person, and just keep on walking. It works pretty well. And I don't know what it is about NX right now. Because usually, like, one of the big, Reinhardt superstars kind of just being bullied this entire series so far.
Yeah. But actually, no cap Aspect gets back on the point and does so much damage that takes on Kaki and Frost. And we don't normally see recontests like that on King's Row, but it comes through here from Solstice. They hold on. They do give it 2 ticks, so it's only 33% more to get it for Endure. Oh, and a late stagger there. Aspect, so much work here.
He was trying to bounce out, but Joey was after him. Aspect of the beams. Yeah. So close to getting out, but not quite.
Sadly not. An Aspect now has that Graviton Surge. We know how quickly he can build it up, and he's done it yet again here, looking for that opportunity now to maybe get NX a lot of damage. But NX is going to open it up with a shatter of his own, and Frost is going to go down because of that. The rally not in time, not enough armor built up over that time. Smalt is going to go down as well, and Solstice have really turned the tide here on the defense after it slipped away so early for them. But with this ultimate advantage, they're just looking so good.
There's just something so special about watching a whole team get shattered. Everyone just taking that quick nap land on the ground, and all at the same time. It's just, it's one of the few things and one of the few ults in this game that just really gets me excited.
Hey, Aspect's gonna yonk that Graviton Surge in there. Neon not at his bomb just yet, but on the opposite side we do see it. NX drops his beat, or shatter I should say, but Scooty, another one, a 2K with his bomb. Neon in the back gets one of his own, so it's still back and forth with NX finding another, but he's just being bullied around there in the front line. Does he have enough sustain? No, he finally goes down. So much stuff coming out here from both these teams. Silverstar's gonna go down as well. And just a Diva Neon trying to just save his mech here. He's getting beamed down, but finally the cap comes through here. And Solstice, a good defense, but Endure finally put it together.
It was looking pretty close for him, but not quite. Scooty's ult coming in a bit earlier. Neon's a little bit bigger, and really opened it up for him. Like you said, NX just getting bullied, pushed around in the mosh pit of the Brigitte, Zyra, and I think the Diva as well. He just couldn't play the game for a few moments while his team weren't with him. And it's kind of how it can be. That's how it feels as a Reinhardt sometimes.
Yeah, big shatter out there from Frost. Just restating what you said about being a Reinhardt sometimes. Bullied around his NX. Just a little bit of a stagger here on the point there, but just... Are we gonna see a block shatter today, Cookie? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know what it is. Like, I get it when it's like a fight's been going on and like you lose your shield and all these kind of things. But the amount of times that a Reinhardt just walks forward before the fight actually engages and just hits Q in front of everyone and like lands it, takes down like pretty much the entire team. It's just too much. It's just too much for my poor little heart.
Yeah, even with the recent nerf that went through, Still a very powerful ultimate when obviously people can't do anything. Rallies come out here on both sides. A little late here from Lambit, which could give them the advantage later in this fight. They keep on pushing through, especially with the Yeti going low, and a shatter out here from Frost, except not Frost. Quite the opposite indeed. Inax drops his. And yet again, another shatter just completely turns the fight. No other ultimates need to be used to finish that one up. And the stagger onto the baby diva. Oh, the humanity. Just let her die.
eventually put down like the old family dog. But
wow.
Yeah, 2 minutes to push in still. It's still plenty of time. We saw Solstice push in with a lot less time. Managed to cap it with a little bit of style in the end. And Joe still have plenty of time to make this work.
We do see a block shatter there, Frosty, not finding anything but dead. Aspect grabs on Surge. So far in the back, no one can follow up again. But again, Scooty, his bomb, he does it again. 2 in there with the Graviton Surge. And the follow-up's going to be there as well. Just pushing through. It seems like every time they need a team fight win, Scooty and Yeti pull through with that combo and hit it dead on. That's going to be the cap here for point C now going into it. With a good spam, you could really just force this aggression.
It's kind of ridiculous, the first 2 maps, we didn't really see any Diva Bombs find a lot of value, especially not anything like this. And now Scooty is just landing him, ult after ult after ult. He's just finding like so many picks every time. It's something about this King's Row,
Yeah. Bomb into back from Neon. That one might not find as much as he wants. As the shatter from Frost comes in. Another huge one there from that main tank as Ninax goes down because he's a little in no man's land over there. More kills come through here, and it's just a stagger on the point now. Buy as much time as you can on the side of Solstice. Hope for that one more fight. Silverstar goes down as well. And pushing through our Endor with a great advantage coming into this final fight territory.
If you manage to cap it kind of easily here, you've got a huge advantage going in for a second attack with such a high time bank compared to Solstice right now.
Early Transcendence out there from Smalty. Aspect not quite at his just yet, and another shatter. Frost gets him time and time again. Bomb over the top here, and Scooty does it again. A 3K. How many bomb kills can he get in this map? He's just single-handedly, along with the help of Yeti, just does it time and time again. Just so much coming out from him here on this Diva. The stall's gonna come in, but it's not gonna be enough. Surely not, as Frost finds 2 kills there. Aspect comes in with his Graviton Surge, but where's the follow-up? Where's the kills? Yeti takes down Joey. The rally in just to sustain a little longer here. Not enough. And 2 minutes 12 is what's going to be on the clock here for Thrive Endor.
Yeah, they still managed to stall that a little bit, get a bit of extra time tucked away there. But they still have that, more than a minute extra to push their first attack, or their own attack rather, which could, it could mean a lot because both of these teams got held on the first point for quite a while. Something about this map.
Yeah.
So this could go either way, Solstice still had an incredible hold on the first point as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It could definitely be anyone's map at this point. 1 minute to push here for Solstice is really not the place you want to be. It took him a few tries the first time around. We could definitely just see him put it together and absolutely roll here and get that 6-point overtime because it's GOATs and who knows what could happen. But either way, Endor in a great position here. Or, Cookie, I hate to say it, we can see our second tie of the night.
We could. We absolutely could. At that point, it's just whoever wins the next map wins, right?
Yeah, I mean,
no score needed.
Just quickly edit the rulebook. The 1-0 victory, whatever.
Yeah, sometimes it's necessary,
4, 3, 2, 1.
It is a first 3, so ties just really don't mean anything. Just kind of, they happened, I guess. But either way, pushing in now our Solstice with basically one good opportunity here, and the rest kind of might be a little discombobulated. Is now pushing in. Neon trying to find as much space as he can. Inax swinging around, just a slow game right now. Kaki going low, but Inax's shield is down, and that's going to provide so much pressure to this front line when he just doesn't have it, and Galaxy's going to take him out. That has to be a quick reset, especially with Neon losing the mech as well. He's going to try to get it as quickly as he can with that Bunny Blaster, but who knows if it'll be in time, especially with Silver Star going down as well. So many staggers coming out with just 15 seconds remaining.
Neon does manage to get that mech back. Keep on, hold on to that little bit of ult. You don't know what could happen here. It could be useful, that 40%.
Oh, Graviton Surge here, especially with Scooty out of his mech. The sound barrier does come through, but Yeti's pinned off to the side, but Inax can't find the follow-up, and the Transcendence is there. There's no shield to protect his team, and Solstice won't be getting a tick here on the offense. Endure holding strong yet again on their defense. And now 2 minutes 12 for Endure to bring this within match point.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's a harder point to push into, and Inax is just he's just melting. As soon as he drops his shield, or as soon as he gets taken out, he just melts so quickly. The Discord, along with all the other damage coming into him, he just it's doing too much to him right now. He can't play the game. He paid his $60 like everyone else. He wants to go at the game. Let him live. But they get that hold. They get the whole thing. So the only option here is either a draw or thrive on top here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great position to be in if you're Endure yet again. I mean, the worst that can happen is a draw, and that still keeps you in the lead, but nonetheless, as we get a few fouls as well. Tinspirational, thank you. The Salty Seals, and Patch is real for the 10 bits. Scooty is a god. You're right. Right, Patches.
That is correct. Definitely an MVP candidate, but we can talk about who we think is what after this map is done. We're about 10 seconds away from seeing if Endure can actually cap the point here and make us watch a little bit less Overwatch, or if they can, maybe they do struggle to take the cap, and we can go to map 3, 4, 5, 6, etc.
Either way, it's been a great series so far, as both these teams have just showed time and time again why they're the last two standing in this winner's bracket. As a Hotel Rotate comes out here, just looking for a different way onto the point, a little more positioning, building up their ultimates right now. Just trying again to find the one mistake that Solstice is going to make. And now they find him. Lambert goes down. Aspect finds the trade there. Trades on both sides as Frost takes on Inax, and Aspect another kill. He's going to try to do it all by himself yet again. He finds one more. But where's his team? Where's the help? It's just Endure on the point right now. Joey doing his best to stay alive. He takes down Smalty, but no one's even close. That brig's so far away. Endure won't be selling for a draw here on King's Row. They'll take map 3, and they'll go up 2-0 in our series.
You're going to be happy with that outcome if you're Thrive there. Getting 2-0. Only one map away from being able to steal out the whole series with another 3-0 in their bank, showing that you don't really need to drop that many games. In the entire series, in the entire tournament rather.
Yep. Oh, and
dirty.
Oh.
So dirty.
So much damage coming out.
No card for it, but
I would love to go back through and count how many bomb kills he did. I mean, it was double digits for sure. The self-destruct kills just insane for him.
I'll bet about, I don't know, I'll think about 14 or so from him.
That's a good estimate.
Yeah. I mean, that was my highest claim to fame in high school. Best at estimates. It was 17 specifically. Close enough.
Goodness, what an absolute madman there on that diva. Definitely an MVP candidate for me. Cookie, UF, and I mean, we're just everyone, right? Just name them off.
Of course, everyone. But I mean, I feel like there's a few players that are sticking out more to me this time. Like, of course, like Scooty is doing super well here, and Yeti as well. I mean, all the tanks right now. Not to take anything away from the supports here, but just all the tanks. Frost, Yeti, and Scooty. Just a powerhouse of a trio right here on the tanks. They're kind of uncontested, and not to take anything away from Inax and Neon and Aspect. They're all doing really well as well. But it's Endure just showing why they're 2-0 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But this has been, again, one of the closest series. The 2-0 scoreline not really showing it. I mean, it is a 2-0-1, I guess. But, Li Jiang back and forth, Volskaya back and forth, and now Kings Row, so back and forth as well. Both these teams have put themselves in positions to win, and Endora were just the last one standing. They had those extra time banks. They had those extra ultimates when they needed them. And that's just been the difference maker. Throughout the entire maps, we've seen them go head and head. But then once we get to that final, 5-10 seconds, just right at the end of each map, we have Endure just pulling it out, staying on top, and again proving why they're the number one seed, why they're up 2-0 in this series. So, I mean, you could give the MVP to anyone on their team. Scooty and Yeti with those combos, definitely for sure, making them favorites. But I mean, you got to look at the support line too. You mentioned that tank line, Galaxy, Khaki, and Smalty all doing a great job. I mean, Smalty doing so much damage here on the Zen. Those Discord orbs have been perfect. Khaki on the Brig. I mean, of course it's Brig, not the hardest character to play, but you can't overextend. You can't. You're the main source of healing in this composition, so you can't get too ahead of yourself, and got to be there with the bashes and those armor packs. So.
Especially not how she used to be either. She used to have that way too large of a shield. It rivaled Winston's in terms of health, but now it's only 200. It melts pretty quickly, so you aren't as tanky as you used to be. You aren't a literal tank anymore.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, pre-222 Brig was definitely a different animal. Definitely interesting to say the least. Definitely made the game better for a lot of people. I'm pretty sure, but either way, it's a different character now in a lot of ways. A lot of reworks done with her, so definitely interesting to see there. And we can see how strong Zenyatta is. He did recently get that Orb of Discord buff again. It goes up to 30%. And at the beginning of this tournament, he was still down at 25. So you could see that maybe teams aren't well adjusted to that just yet. And maybe Smalty's a little better at it than Silverstar, just knowing how quick it is to burn people down. And those Reinhardts really not knowing how much damage comes through. So it's definitely very interesting to see them adapt to that.
Yeah, I agree. Because earlier in the season, you could swap out that Zenyatta for, an Ana and a Mora and find some good value. Maybe not so much Mora, but the Ana you could definitely find a little bit there. But there's just something about that little bit of the extra 5% on the Zenyatta and how powerful he is and being properly utilized now. You near enough couldn't take him out. We saw Smalty, I think, go to Ana on Volskaya. Yep. And, you miss one nade and all of a sudden your team's at a huge disadvantage. You've pretty much got nothing left to work with. And that's the thing. Zenyatta's not that you want to make mistakes ever, because, you want to be perfect at video games, but it's Zenyatta's a little bit easier to make a mistake here and not kind of lose a fight out of. Yeah.
I mean, definitely one of the pressures of playing Zenyatta is that transcendence, because if your team goes really low, you can just press a button and heal them all back up. But you have to keep in mind that Graviton Surge, is there a better time to use it? Is this the best time to use it? There's a lot of processing that has to go down to playing Zenyatta and knowing if that transcendence is going to be effectively used in the long, the large picture, the big picture, it's tough to really figure that out sometimes. So props to Smalty and Silverstar, who are both incredible Zenyatas and flex supports overall. Great stuff from them. But our next map, let's talk about that, Cookie, which will be Rialto.
Ooh.
Definitely a map. I mean, I don't hate this pick out here from Solstice.
No, it's the typical kind of map you see a lot of, especially in the Goats meta. It's a fairly straightforward map, not anything too crazy. Probably, I mean, no, you could run the floats a little bit, at least for the first 2 points. It's definitely a possibility, especially if Endure feel like they want to try and flex it out again. I'm not sure if they will after Volskaya, but there's a bit of wiggle room here. But even if you just do the traditional Goats, it's a very straightforward map, which is like you like.
I do like seeing some spawn camping come out too. Big fan of that. I don't know. It's just pleasing to me. I feel like in my mind, it's such a good idea to do it, because even if you lose, the cart just starts rolling and, you killed some time. So, I mean, but either way, Rialto, and we could definitely be looking for Lucio boops, Joey Galaxy. They
Mhm.
love to play Lucio because who doesn't, I guess. So a lot of fun coming out there as well.
Mhm. Absolutely. Just we still got we've got tons of goats left. Tons. We've gone through just absolute gigatons worth of goats, but we still got a fairly decent amount left to go. We've got this winners final. We're going to finish this one up. They move on and they play whoever wins the losers bracket. Which again, we have Dirt versus Hanamura tomorrow at 10 EST, and then whoever wins that game plays the loser of today's, and then the winner of that one again comes back to see if they can win the whole thing. There's still plenty of matches left. You feel it feels like it's getting to the end, but there's still enough left.
Yeah, it should definitely be a good end to this tournament. Dirt and Hanamura Hellhounds in that bottom bracket, both very good teams. That should be a good one to watch. I mean, I don't know about my predictions just quite yet, but either way, it's going to be good. But sticking back to this one, I mean,
yeah, I mean, to make my predictions right, and Solstice have to win the next 3 maps in a row. They really got to go for that reverse sweep.
It'll be a long map for sure. If we get another tie in there somewhere, who knows? Because if we do get into the next maps, if Solstice wins this one, it'll go back to control. But then it's like a cycle, so we'll go back to 2CP, then back to hybrid, then back to that payload map as well. So we could be in here for the long run if Solstice wins the next 2, and 2 more draws, and then we'll finally get the last one. But hopefully we won't have to stay here to midnight. Of course, I'd love to see this great game. And there's going to be so many more great games, especially with the OCC relaunch coming June 18th. Plugging that one real quick. So sign up this weekend. Definitely get in there if you're interested in playing just a fun Overwatch League, no matter what SR you are. But
yeah, and like Sar said, it's a good thing that we haven't had any DCs today. We've seen the servers being a little bit turbulent, but we're pretty lucky here. We've only had one person need to pause and maybe restart some things, but no real scuffage here today.
Neon is playing on a phone Wi-Fi hotspot. I'm pretty sure he said in chat a while ago, so I can understand why he might need a few restarts here and there.
I gotta admit though, I've used phone hotspots before. I feel like that's been faster than any just standard wide internet connection I've ever had, just straight off my phone.
Yeah, definitely not the worst possibility. I mean,
you could always go down to McDonald's with your laptop, and
that might be a little worse. But,
yeah, back to school.
It's indoor here on the defense. Trying to hold a little close. They're on the opposite side of the bridge here. This Solstice will be definitely prepared here for a spawn camp. Now they're right up against the doors. Frosh just meets them head on, and Neon's on the Winston.
Oh. Okay.
Maybe he just wanted to pull it out for just a second. Do some scouting. Interesting pick there. Maybe you heard me on the stream earlier just praying that he'd do it for once. And he did, so thank you, Neon. But either way, they take this high ground, and the spawn camp is in here, trying to do as much damage as they can. They have Khaki just a little far out there, but not enough focus fire on that one, and a boop comes through. But nothing goes off because very mobile characters there, and Inax and Lambert find one. Followed up, gets a boop off of Joey, the alpha there in that matchup, but the rest of his team members are dead and dying. Aspect, ooh, a 3K with one right click. And moving the card forward.
The spawn.
Yeah.
It's one of those times again where I couldn't tell who was attacking and who was defending. It was just there was 12 people on cart, and that's all I knew. Didn't know what way the cart was going to go once any color won.
Rally out here early here from Lambert. And Aspect with the Graviton Surge, a quick one built up for him, especially with all that damage. Lambert takes down Yeti. The Shatter block there, Frost not finding anything. We know he's done it time and time again this series, but Inax has downloaded his thought process. And now
he's rebound his right click. He can finally block a Shatter again.
Now the card's moving just a little more. Silverstar on that duty here. That boop there from Joey almost finds something there, but the Shatter from Inax finds Khaki down with that rally, going solo, and he's finally taken out. The card not moving just yet as it's contested. that Neon bomb might not be too much, but it actually finds Galaxy in the back. Just a little bit of a misplay from him. So a few members now down here from Endure, as again, Solstice are pushing the aggression. Bomb into back from Scooty. We know this one can be huge. Doesn't find anything. Landing a good shield there from him, and somehow Aspect gets around that corner. But they've maybe taken it too long here, especially with their Reinhardt going down. Now just kind of a dry fight cookie.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that the outcome there. They pushed up so far into spawn. I thought they would have been able to cap it, but you know, Joe managed to get back on the point. And I'm sure you'd like the cars. There's like a lot of ults just being thrown all over the place, but I don't know if you can tell, but not a lot has happened yet.
Yeah, so many ults being used here, but each one just being responded with an ult of their own. Is Joe with the boot. That'll really change the fight up a bit there. Those environmentals, we mentioned them before the map, and he gets them there.
Yeah, that's the one thing Joey does, you know. Regardless of anything else he does, he gets a lot of environmental kills. He gets a lot of boot playing this frogman, and you know, he still finds a value even against a team like Endure.
Yeah, and it's just such a good ability to use because you also get all that ult charge too. That full health bank goes over to you, so it builds up that sound barrier quickly, and especially in a competition like GOATS is very important. Inax drops the shatter, but he didn't really have the health there to do that. As he's taken down by Galaxy, trying to maybe get a little bit of space in Neon's DMX as well. So maybe a little too far enough aggression there for the side of Solstice, as they're just pushed back into spawn now. Surfer start jumping off the edge. Joey trying to find that escape too, but he doesn't find it. He's back in spawn as well.
It's you know, it's still kind of back and forth. You know, they've got a time back of 3 minutes. They've got plenty of time to push in through here. But I mean, at any point they can really just completely flip who has the advantage here, with these teams being so even, and with so many ults being fairly even here as well. Enjoy having a little bit of advantage with those defensive ults, of course. But Scooty.
I mean, again, with his bombs here, the self-destruct is so huge. Just, I mean, Aspect used his Graviton Surge and Aeon used his bomb, but it doesn't find anything because the team wasn't there. There was no pressure on that shield of Frost, and it's just an easy fight win. Scooty just doing so much work with these self-destructs.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to DMAC the DMAC Scooty, which is big in of itself, but he's going to be back in that mech pretty soon and ready to go again.
Yeah, Yeti, a little sneaky grab there off to the back, but that Trident's right there. Man, almost moved off. Let him get back. Real weird boop there as Frost takes Silver Star for a ride off the map. That might not have been the smartest choice, but nonetheless, Solstice keep on pushing forward, and Galaxy a boop there onto Jelly Late as well.
I mean, that was really good though. You know, I don't know how the Reinhardt did it so much, but getting booped and not giving him the ult, I mean, not that the ult mattered so much because it was Joe the one that booped. But if you can, Reinhardt and Zay have a lot of health, and if you can divide it, you know, stop them getting the environmental kill, it's a lot of health that you can deny their ult. But you know, Joey already has his ult, so it doesn't matter quite as much.
Yeah, Aspect, another Graviton Surge there, and just 10% off there from Smalty. No protection for him and his team. It's still rolling through. Just Aspect builds these so fast, faster than Smalty can get his Transcendence, and it's such a fight different. I mean, when you have that advantage, everyone can just swing through. Inax with the shatter there. Walk straight up their bomb into the back from Neon. Doesn't find anything but a shield yet again. Rally out here as well. The Transcendence out from Smalty. That's the advantage they have because they know Aspect definitely does not have that Graviton Surge and not pushing forward. But Frost is still down here. And that rally not doing enough to keep up Kagi as well. Just that Diva and that Lucy on point. Usually the ones that sit there and stall it out as long as they can. But they're going to be taken down shortly. But Frost is back. And he almost might have a chance to do this, but no, he doesn't. No, not at all.
I was looking really close. They might have had the advantage there, but you know, the stalls in the back, the Lucio and the Diva managed to just get DMAC'd and died just as they rocked up. If they held out for another couple of seconds, they might have actually had a real recontest there.
Yeah,
rather than the stall.
But Solstice does push through here, and this is definitely a tough point to get through. This last point of Rialto. It's very narrow. It's a long respawn. And it's not going to help if Aspect's Graviton Surge gets in there by Scooty. And a free Graviton Surge comes through. And with a few people down, it might not have been the smartest idea there for the Transcendence to come through. It keeps everyone up for a little while, but it honestly just feels like a stagger at this point. Silverstar goes down because of its multi, taking down Aspect as well. And X last one's standing back into spawn. And now a minute 15 to push through yet again.
Neon managing just to get out. Managed to keep on a hold of his mech a little bit longer. Oh, and actually managed to get demeched all the way. That's a pretty huge stacker.
Oh.
Even though you can just jump off there, it's regardless. It's not what you want, especially with Echo calling out that 60 seconds left. Here's where you want to start winning again.
Yeah. Now pushing back through here. Basically one chance. Both rallies come out at the same time. Just so much sustained because of those. But the shatter comes through. Inex was not in a great position there. He gets taken out by Scooty. And Frost, another big shatter. Aspect a little late, killed off there. Now 30 seconds remaining. Some good ultimates online here from Solstice. But is it going to be enough to actually push through?
They're going to be careful though. That Yeti and Scooty combo is coming online. It's not too far away now. Only a few seconds to do a fight, and that can come out. But Aspect and Neon basically have their own version, which, it's kind of going to be the deciding factor here, I think. Whoever has the biggest bomb.
Yep. Aspect does get the Graviton Surge and he puts it in. Neon over the top here. The pin comes out. It's perfectly placed. And the bomb from Neon hits. That's 2. And the bomb, or the shatter, I should say, into the back from Inex as well. So that's a huge fight win there for the side of Solstice. So they keep on pushing this cart, but now they have to go up against Yeti and Scooty, who have the combo of their own. Can Joey and Silverstar use their ultimates effectively to stop this one?
It's going to come down so much so whether 1, Neon can either grab, and 2, like you said, Joey and Silverstar are going to use their ults just so precisely here. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty difficult to survive the bomb.
Yetis comes out first, and Lambert already down. It's going to be a great sound barrier, but it's not enough to save him. Joey goes down, and the shatter as well is huge. And Endure are going to be stopping the push here. Solstice tasted that finish line, but they're not going to find it. And Endure have their sights set on where this series will end.
They could taste the finish line, but unfortunately, licking the floor isn't too healthy in most cases, and just resulted in them not quite managing to get it. But it's still a pretty decent push, regardless. Getting it all the way to the end, just shy of the 3rd point, is pretty solid. So Endure are going to try and do that better, but they could take the series here. They could finish it up here if they do manage to push it all the way like that.
Yeah, we definitely can see a win scenario here. Again, Toast Bread, thank you for the follow, or Toast Breb, I should say. Thank you for the follow there. Again, you can follow the stream as well. It's been a great match here today. It's a 2-0 right now in favor of Endure, but it's been back and forth. It's been a great match between these two teams, arguably the best 2 teams in this tournament that we've seen. I mean, who knows? Maybe Dirk can turn it up here. Maybe Hanamura can bring it back, but still winners finals to semifinals. The winner of this one will keep on going on, and the loser goes on to that loser's bracket. But I don't think we should fear. We could definitely see either teams back in the finals.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't even be a little bit surprised if we just got to see these guys again in grand finals. So even if Endure do win out here, we could see a very different match between Solstice and them coming into the grand finals. Because I don't have too much doubt that Solstice or Endure could, roll on through the losers pretty easily.
Spawn camp out here from Solstice, but it's not quite as effective as the other one was, as Silverstar goes down early. Frost's going to take down Inex as well. Aspect trying to do as much damage as he can. The Graviton Surge, of course, important here. But only like 15 seconds knocked off the clock here. That's not a great position to be in.
And the real danger is you've just given Frost his ult, and he's just coming out of spawn. He's not too far behind, He's just going to charge in. He's got that ult ready to pretty much take point, the first point as soon as he wants.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Inex is even expecting it. Again, it's a tough position to be in when you don't quite know where it is. And Frost is going to drop it on 2 of those tanks. And he's going to take one for a ride. That's Inex, but he doesn't go down too early there. But finally, he's down. Too much pressure for him, and he finally gets dropped Neon not long to follow there, and back into spawn go the rest of the members of Solstice. They really don't want to be staggered out here, but Lambit's gonna fall. So
Frost he's lapping on the ults here. He's just about ahead of Inax again for his second ult. Just miles ahead of him. Yeah, he's gonna have it again before Inax even gets. He's on his second ult now before Inax even gets his first.
Yeah, definitely not the best defense that we've seen here. Solstice kind of looking a little tough here now. 5 minutes in the bank, and this Karch is rolling. Not a great position to be in. Solstice just, you're grasping at straws right now. You have good ultimates online, but so does the opposition.
That's a difficult thing, we expected Solstice to be the one that's coming in here ahead a little bit of our predictions, but I guess it was mainly just pug stomping from the most part. They weren't playing against teams that could really contest them at all, and Dirt might have been the only real competition anyone could have had here.
Yeah, Scooty a bomb in there, and it's gonna find Aspect. His bubble not in time there. It drops his shatter, but he can't follow up on that one, especially not with his Zarya in the spawn, and Frost just absolutely destroying everyone here on the cart. One after another, they go down, taking down Joey as well. Silverstar's back in there with a little bit of a stall himself. And you use a few ultimates there on the side of Solstice, and you don't find anything because of it. Yeti almost has another Graviton Surge, and Aspect hasn't even used one of his own.
Yeah, I mean, Silverstar at least has his ult here, so they can stop this this grabs from fighting any usage, but, same on the other side.
Oh, he gets the 3K with the bomb. A boop there, out from Joey. Everyone in the air. No one knows where the bomb is. And that's what Solstice needed to just sustain themselves a little longer. Scooty jumps into the water, goes for a swim, but doesn't have his boater's license, so not gonna lie down there.
That's a really good spot to hold it too. It's so shy of the second point, but it's like probably the furthest away you get from any spawn on this map. It's such a long journey just to get there, and if you play super aggressively and further up, even if you die, you're probably gonna get back from spawn before they can even get to it. It's a really good position for Solstice to be in here.
Into a great advantage here, especially with Yeti's Graviton Surge. Silverstar does have his Transcendence, but one misplay could give an advantage to the other team. Shadow comes through from Inax, but doesn't find anyone. And the Transcendence is just a little bit late. Neons get demeched in that Graviton Surge. The Shatter's there, blocked a little bit. Lambert goes down, and Scooty bomb into the back line. This one could be huge. It just forces a little bit of space. Rally out here from Lambert going in. Joey has his sound barrier as well, but Aspect goes down. Sound barrier not in time. Time and time again, we just see these defensive ultimates not in time here to save the rest of his team. And Scooty, kill after kill now. He's doing all the work. I mean, he's not doing all the work. His team's definitely doing a lot of the damage. But either way,
what is Frost doing? He just WKs and he lives. He just charged this spawn against a Zarya and a Reinhardt and lived. Okay. I mean, the rest of the team were cleaning up on the point, and he's just going in for another quick pick. But Yeti and Scooty there to save him. Save him, Private Frost. Kind of crazy. Enduro here, kind of uncontested right now. Especially Next down. Graviton surges out from both teams here, but the Transcendence is available on one side and not the other. And the cart's rolling through here. 3.5 minutes. Endure, they're gonna do it. Their eyes are set on this finish line, and no ultimates online. Neon has to have the biggest bomb of his life here if we want to see a Solstice defense. This is that last fight territory. This is make or break for Solstice. If they want that reverse sweep, if they want any sense of victory, it's got to be now.
Yeah, rally out here early from Kaki to give that advantage. Skitty bomb into the back and takes down Silverstar. 5% away, and Lambert had his rally, but he can't use it. Aspect goes down as well. Neon doesn't get anything with that bomb but a DMAC. And Endure, the Thrive Endure, have taken down Solstice. The 3-0 and a tie. They move on to the winners. Solstice drops to the losers. A great match. Cookie. Watch.
It was, like we said, the predictions were very off from us. We had Solstice up there winning it with a 3-2. And they were close the entire time. They had a chance. They were never far away from them at all. But it was just that, Endure managed to get ahead just a little bit every time. And then maybe a little bit more so on this last map, being the only map that was kind of really dominant for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess Rialto, I mean, even on their defense, they seemed a little shaky. It was so back and forth. Easily one of the, you know, best or not best, closest 3-0s, I should say, that we've seen in quite a long time.
Yeah.
As again, just such a good game for both these teams. Solstice just couldn't get it done in the end. Definitely not going to be surprised if we see them again, I should say, in
Mm.
that winners bracket. But
Yeah. They're going to go against whoever wins tomorrow, Dirt versus Hanamura.
yeah,
And I'm sure, they won't have an easy time against either of the teams, but maybe compared to Indoor, might be a
yeah.
little bit easier. But now we're going to try and pick who our MVP is here. And I want to hear what you're thinking here for now.
First, I mean, Frost got a lot of huge shatters throughout the entire game. Protecting his front line and then dropping them, and just being just a force to be reckoned with. He did a lot of great work up there, so he's definitely the runner-up for me. But I'm gonna have to give it to Scooty on my end. Bomb after bomb for him, and of course Yeti, of course, helping him out with that one. Credit where it's due. But Scooty followed through. He showed up in the kill feed as he usually does, and he also ate a few of Aspect's grabs, which can definitely turn team fights for the worse for Solstice and for the better for Endure. So Scooty's my pick, but Cookie, your choice too.
I mean, it's definitely very similar. A lot of people in Endure just doing a lot of work. The support lines just managing to. There weren't really many times where they were kind of out of position or getting picked or being too aggressive or wasting their ults. There wasn't as many times as what we could say for Solstice there, unfortunately for them, because we know they're really good players. But there was just a few times, like Lambert was a little bit overly aggressive a lot of the time. There's a trance and a beat wasted here and there. And the support line for Endure just a little bit cleaner here today, and that was a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But the tank lines were the real absolute superstars here. Frost just landing shatter after shatter, just being the dominant Reinhardt here. Hitting him up with that main tank difference, just kind of just W keying into the enemy team, uncontested a lot of the time. And even when he was, his team was there to back him up. And Yeti, finding a lot of damage, he's filing up those grabs really quickly in that last map. Yeah. But I definitely think it's got to go to Scooty. He's eating those grabs. He's finding those off angles. He's tossing out those huge bombs, not only in the grabs is he hitting these big 4-3 2Ks the entire time, but even finding value, just tossing them out into random areas and into good positions that are still finding value, whether it's even one pick on an important person or still picking up a 2K, which could pretty much just win a fight instantly. He's just more insane. So for me as well, it's definitely got to be Scooty. And I think we might have a lot of angry people in chat if we don't give him to him.
And don't worry, Chad, we got you. Scooty is going to be our MVP. We'll get him in here in just a second for that interview.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, one more look back on the game. Solstice definitely can't hang their heads low at all. It's back and forth. I feel like maybe if Aspect's in on that first map, Lijiang Tower might even go to them, and we might be here for an extra half hour. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying we could have. But
yeah, no, I just looked at the stream and I guess the videos are dead, and it looks terrible. And apparently it's fixed now, so when I'm talking about this, it won't be so much better.
Either way,
Scuff stream.
Hey, it's NA for a reason.
Yeah, we're good.
Now, Scooty will be joining us. Hello, Scooty. MVP, the Diva player. Tons of great work from you. Congrats on the win and moving forward into that winners final. How are you feeling? How's the team feeling?
I mean, I guess we're all excited, maybe kind of surprised. I guess considering everything kind of building up for us recently, we weren't sure how we would do just because of we don't technically have a flex DPS or a main tank, and we've been playing with kind of two fills. But I mean, I don't know. Luckily, some old teammates came in clutch and have been playing for us with this tournament. So yeah.
Yeah, and even, regardless of all that, you guys are doing obviously super well. You're the number one seed. You take out probably one of the biggest competitions here today. Now, it wasn't like the score dictates. It wasn't a 3-0. It was, a fairly close matchup for a lot of the maps. How are you guys feeling a lot of the time? There's so many times where it's kind of do or die, you could lose the map at any point, but you managed to win it. How did you guys stay, so on top of the mental the whole time?
I mean, I don't know. I think the whole time we felt really really good about the goats v goats matchup, like just the Rhine goats. We tried our hand at the Winston. We just like hadn't really practiced it too much necessarily, and then we decided that we'll just go for the mirror. But I think we felt pretty confident in our mirror after the first like map. We felt like we should have won the first map, but we like the first sub map on Lijiang, but I had like an unfortunate I got flailed off the map and but I mean after that I think we just like felt really confident, and even like when we hit the draw on Volskaya, we were like, yeah, we realized that we kind of screwed up with our comp and stuff, and I think we just kind of went from there. So
Okay. I mean, like we definitely saw you guys learn and adapt the entire time, a lot more even in the early matches. Like you said, you lost that round on Lijiang. It was looking good for Solstice there, and the draw on map 2, it's looking so even, but you guys really just continued to adapt the entire time, which is incredibly important in Overwatch, especially in these long series. But you just adapted and just came out on top more and more. But I mean, of course, how are you feeling on King's Row? Just bomb after bomb after bomb into grabs, into the back lines, just everything, just hitting these fat diva bombs. How are you feeling after each and every one just blew away half the team?
I mean, it was so fun. I mean, so it was great getting to play with like Frost for this too, because like he was my old teammate back with my old iteration of like Ungentleman, like our
Right.
old name
Yeah.
with Goats. And it was awesome that we got to play with him, and like we have like I think we have pretty good synergy with like our counting down the bomb pins and whatnot, and even like Kaki too came in clutch too when we needed it, and they really enabled like the really big bombs. Like I mean, they would have been useless without them, but they really came in clutch for me. So
Yeah, absolutely. The team playing it so well, just timing everything so perfectly, and of course, you usually just see the grab and the bomb come through, and especially the bomb, but then you miss those little parts that are like the pin on the Reinhardt and the bashes and everything. But, that's just where your team excelled, really. Just all the small things that are so important, you guys, play pretty damn well together.
Yeah.
But do you have any more questions for MVP today, Ryan?
I do always like to ask. I mean, Scooty, you got the MVP today, but you got 5 other members on your team. Who would you give it to if it wasn't you?
Oh man. Yeah, 100% Frost. The guy just is absolutely one of the most insane main tank players I've ever played with, ever seen. He's just so good. Yeah, blocking shatters left and right and getting huge shatters when it felt like we might lose a fight, and every fight's winnable with Frost, it feels like. So yeah, definitely him. So
Nice.
Great stuff out there from Frost, and great stuff from you and the entire team of Indoor. So congratulations on that.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. That was Scooty, our MVP for today. A great game from him, a great game from Indoor, and from Solstice. A great game to watch. Cookie, it was a good one, and we got more tomorrow too.
Oh yeah, of course we do. It's a great match today, unexpected from what we were expecting. Obviously, thinking of that 3-2 for Solstice, but I mean they're gonna go drop down to that losers bracket. Not the worst case scenario. They're at the end of it, the very end of it. They only need to win one match to go back against Indoor. You're not feeling too great after a loss. You never do, but like I said, you're not in the worst case scenario. So I'm excited for that Dirt versus Hanamura Hellhounds tomorrow. That'll be a great match. And then we can see where some more matches are. And of course, I'm sure I'll be joined by you every step of the way.
Hopefully, but nonetheless, OP Freeze, thank you for the follow. And if you're anything like OP Freeze, you'd follow too. So do that just to stay up to date with everything that's going on here at OCC and Zonky Esports. We got that OCC relaunch June 18th. Signups this weekend. Make sure you get on that. A lot of great stuff coming there. But that'll do it for us tonight. We've had a great game. Me and Cookie here had a lot of fun. So thank you for joining us. Remember that Black Lives Matter, and we'll see you in the next game.
Absolutely.